Sorry about all the noise, you guys. I really, really apologize for all of the noise that is going to be present in this video because there is a lot of noise. So I just want to say that before you watch it. Probably not going to re-record it. So just turn your volume up on this one. But I'm going to have the intro right after this. I hope that you enjoy this one. I really, really appreciate all the support. Know that all of these videos that I'm making are my psychic downloads, my opinion, not stated as fact. The energy can always change. This is just tarot. These people still have free will. This is just what I can see from my perspective. So I hope that you enjoy. And I will see y'all later. Love you. Hey everybody, it's Mama. Welcome back to Mama's Only Tarot. So today we are doing another industry plant series. Another installment. Yes. Okay, so we are doing Lil Tecca. I have to. Because to be honest, it's like, you look at the guy, he's from my city. He's from New York City. He's from Queens, though. I'm from Brooklyn. Of course, I would love for him to be, not an industry plant. But it's like, I look on his page. He's following 6 people. He got over 500,000. He got like 600 or some thousand followers. He barely posts. He barely interacts. But he just, only posts you see is his drops. And they're getting all of this love. And I don't know. I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? Do he got to push? He got somebody, a team, and people put him together to get, it just feels all too orchestrated. His website, everything is too clean, it's too perfect. It feels AI generated. I don't care. That's that. I'm just being funny, but let's just jump right into it. I'm wasting too much time. So of course I went ahead and asked, is he an industry plant? And then, do he got a dark deal? Because we gotta know. If you watch Lizzo's you know that she's an industry plant, but she don't have a dark deal. We got Lana Del Rey. She tried to be an industry plant. That didn't work out. We got some that do have a dark deal. Like, it's all over the place, you guys. So you have to watch and see. Check out the, some of the other industry plant series that I've done to see what the exact configuration is. Because for everybody, it's different. So that's why I decided to start asking both questions. Because they are not one and the same. Okay, so is he an industry plant? Let's go ahead here. Wow, you guys. Wow, you guys. This is crazy. It says he's not an industry plant. That he evaluates for his worth, your time, profit, hot opportunity, fired up, burning desires fulfilled, getting satisfaction, good times, happy ending. Those are the only 3 yes cards. But the majority of cards are no. Spotted reputation, going bad, rotten idea, hidden dangers and stillness, proceed with caution, cannot break the ice, chilly reception, bleak, and the bridges fail, crossing is risky. No, overall, he knows that that's a, I guess that's just not the route that he wanted to go. He authentically has people that support him. He invests actual money into his career, his team, his marketing, everything. The people that he worked with is really good. Like, he just has good management. This man is not an industry plant. Nah. What? See, and that's why I love doing these videos, because they shock me. I was for sure ready to turn these cards over and they say that he was an industry plant. He's not an industry plant, but do he got, well, you know what, let me not get too excited. Do he got a dark deal? I don't even want to go more into these yet until I see. Do he got a dark deal? No. Oh my God, no. Clearing the air, refreshing change. For a refreshing change, Lil Tecca is an authentic artist out of Queens, New York. Shout out to him. Everything about him is authentic. His marketing, his growth, everything. Now, yes, there's money put into certain things, but people like him. People like his music. People enjoy his music. He's making music that he enjoys. He's making music that he loves. No one's controlling the type of music that he got to create and put out. He can actually, put music out that he likes creating, and, wow. He don't got nobody trying to have control over what he got going on with this, high opportunity, like, everything is good, you guys. Like, he knows that doing all that industry plant thing, like, he knows, listen, at the end of the day, people will know. People will be able to see that. And I honestly, what I'm getting from this is that he really resents that. With this chilly reception, he really resents the fact that people think that he an industry plant. It really make him feel some type of way, because he's just like, that's not me, and that's not how I am at all. I'm actually a true, authentic artist. So that's weird. He don't like that. We're gonna have to go more into that because he do not like that at all. I see that. I better shut my mouth and not be calling people no industry plant no more. I ain't gonna no. But yeah, he don't have no dark deal. He know that that's not his path. He stays clear of all of that other stuff. Like he's, definitely, for a refreshing, we could be excited and happy. This is different for a change. Like he's definitely keeps him. He don't even. There's not even a way that you can even talk to him. Okay. He is the path is blocked. You can't even have that discussion with him because he's not willing. I'm getting it now. Cracks in your facade, unsupported, drying up. It's already telling me that there's certain things he's seen that he like. Oh hell no! Some of these dudes is flawed as hell. They not who they say they are. Y'all think they somebody and they not who they are. They not who you think they are. And the stuff that they do behind closed doors, I'm not doing it. I'm not into it. That's what I'm getting from that. But let's just go ahead and continue. This is going to be a good reading. All right. So the driving force behind his career and him getting to who he is and how everything started for him and him becoming Lil Tecca. How did Lil Tecca become Lil Tecca? Wow. This is interesting. Oh, let me. Sorry, you guys. Let me get this in order. I got the jitters, I guess, because I just got a sudden burst of energy, and I was like, let me start doing some readings, and I really never expected him to. Yeah, it is very refreshing. Like I like that card said that refreshing air of refreshment. Like it's really true. It's for a change. He's not anything crazy. He's just a real authentic artist. Something you don't see much of nowadays. All right, so how did Lil Tecca become Lil Tecca? We have the 8 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Magician. So he went through a lot of things in his personal life, some heartbreaking events, possibly dealing, I don't know if that's just with family, but definitely grew up, I guess, in well, you have to be tough. You got to be strong. That's kind of what I get from it. Like, you can't be all in your feelings. You can't be all in your emotions. Like, he had to toughen up. He went through some things that was, hurtful, painful, definitely. But he also, I feel like, had people who might have stifled his heart. He wore his heart on his sleeve is what I get. And he had to really sort of toughen up and get a more tough exterior and protect himself because a lot of people would take advantage of him, take advantage of his heart. He was going through a lot, I could tell. But he decided, you know what? Why not turn all of that pain into positivity, right? With this Ace of Cups and the Magician. He was like, why not alchemize all of the things that I've been through into writing music? I could talk about the things that I've been through. I could talk about what I've seen, what I feel, my emotions, the ups and downs, who I am, everything that got me to where I am now. So that's what he chose to do, to just wear his heart on his sleeve and free himself from all of the past hurt and pain. And instead of just, holding on to that regret and that resentment and all of that heartache and pain, he just turned his pain into passion. And he created music and he created things that, could bring him in financial opportunities with this Ace of Pentacles, that was going to bring him in money. Yeah, and listen, it was bringing in money fast. I feel like he invested in his career. He's one of those people who had no problem putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in the money. King of Swords, he writes his music. Nobody else is writing his music. There's no, whole big band of people that, he has to compete with, or he feels like he's in competition with, because he knows himself. He knows the lane that he's in. He knows the type of man that he is and the music that he's creating, and he's grateful. He feels stable. Like Ancestors is really emphasizing that he is the truth. He's truthful. He's not a liar. He's very authentic. He stands in his truth and stands behind the music that he creates and who he is, because it represents himself. So that's what he would say to y'all with this King of Swords. It's like he would defend his music and say, yo, whatever it is that y'all think is inauthentic about me or what makes me an industry plant, like, I really don't see it. I put the time in, I put the effort in, I put the work in. Like, I didn't just sit up here and just pop off overnight. No, I actually went through a lot of stress. I actually went through people telling me no. I went through some heartbreaking things, but I just turned all of that into pleasure. I kept pushing. I kept going. I didn't let it hold me back. I overcame my obstacles and kept pushing and kept creating. And eventually I got my big break. I got the money. I got the success. I got what I was looking for. I got the stable foundation that I was trying to create. And now, he wants to defend it. He want to defend his honor with this 5 of Swords. Yeah, he will defend his honor in his music and say, like, listen, I'm authentic and I'm not no industry plant. So All right. Thank you, Lil Tecca, for clearing it up to me and for clearing it up to the world that you are not an industry plant, that you put in the hard work and the effort, and this is how you got to where you are. You're going to continue to be the real person that you are, stand to your truth. You're not into drama. You're not into competition. He's not into any of that stuff. He's just into making his music and living his life. That's it. This is the type of dude who's like, I want to make my music, get fly, and go. Like, enjoy my life and enjoy the fruits of my labor. Like, he's not trying to be into all of the extraness. This is just your run-of-the-mill, successful musician who respects his craft, and honors his truth within his craft. So that's what we have as far as how, Lil Tecca became Lil Tecca. That's dope. Let's see about his early career struggles with, the music, and his early personal struggles. A lot wanted to jump out for the early personal struggles, but I was like, I can't take all these. It was like 15 cards wanting to jump out. But let's start with the career struggles. So we have Dragon, Beware of Self-Delusion. We have Lobster, Financial Pinch coming out in reverse. Fly, A Period of Ill Health, Depression. Grapes coming out in reverse. Time to Go Out and Have Fun. Seahorse, Family Matters coming out in reverse. I told you, it was something going on. He lost, because I'm looking at this Five of Cups card. There was a sorrow, a pain. He went through a lot. He went through some loss, and that definitely fortified him and made him who he is. It could have been a family member, but he was definitely, like I said, he grew up in a way where you had to be strong, you had to be tough. I feel like he grew up, in the struggle. That's what I wanted to say earlier. Like, it wasn't easy, but he had to make it work. He had to overcome people trying to tell him that, you can't be who you really are. People questioning, what it is that he stood for. People trying to get him to do things that he don't want to do when it comes to his music career. People trying to get him to join in on things that he don't want to join in. Him feeling like a little bit more of a lone and an outcast. Like he not always wanting to go out and party in a negative, do certain dirty things at these parties and just always be drinking and all. He's not into none of that stuff. He honestly was going through lots of depressing things early on in his career, and that's what he was struggling with. That that depressive mood and that sadness that he was going through, whatever he was dealing with his family, with this seahorse, whatever he was going through when it comes to his finances, with this Lobster coming out in reverse. We also have Skull, Hidden Secrets Will Harm You. So it was a lot of deeper things that we already talked about that he was going through, but it was the fact that he wasn't acknowledging it. He didn't want to talk to anybody about it. He knew that he couldn't trust people, right? That people were untrustworthy. You can't tell them your secrets, right? That people will use things against you. And so just trying to make sure that he didn't do anything that people could end up using against him, making sure that he protected himself, not being his ego self, with Peacock coming out in reverse. It says beware of great pride. So he wanted to, his main struggles was the fact that he was not willing to be prideful. Okay, not willing to have fun and party like how, Diddy and them be saying. He wasn't willing to party in that way. Okay, you wasn't about to get nothing on him that you would, take no tape of him or have nothing against him that you could use on him. He was very strong-willed and was not about to do anything dark, but he was also going through things when it came to his financial matters, when it came to his family as well. And these were things that were weighing on him and affecting him because he wanted to make sure he still did things the right way. All right, let's see about his personal life. Spiritual love coming out in reverse. Barrel, wow. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So he felt like a lot. He was missing a lot. He was lacking a lot in his life. With the star in reverse, he didn't see who he truly was, at the time early on. Like he was dim in his light. He wasn't truly capable of seeing his authentic light and his brilliance and all that he was going to bring to this music and how people were going to receive him so well and love him. He felt like he was still missing a lot, like he wasn't going to be received well. Because he was lacking something within his own self personally, right? We have a unicorn coming out in reverse. So it says use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So he just didn't see it, right? He didn't have that vision, that long-term intuition at the time to trust in his gut and know, like, I've got this. He was dealing with a lot of self-doubt and lack of self-confidence and self-awareness when it came to what he was capable of doing. We have Teapot here, deep friendship with someone of the same SEX. Oh, hold on. Sorry, yeah, so I feel that he lost someone, possibly, a friend or a family member that he cared about very deeply, and this definitely was affecting him, and he had to rely on, the people in his life to really help him with this rainbow and scales. It says the most difficult part of your situation is over. Keep your life in balance. So he was really, struggling to keep his life in balance and overcome whatever this family sorrow or loss that he suffered, whether it was a family member, a friend, whatever. I feel like with the unicorn coming out in reverse, it really became unexpected. In my opinion, my psychic downloads, my opinion, not stated as a fact. And, in his personal life, while going through his music career, he was definitely struggling with the loss of someone from his personal life and having to rely on, friends and other people to keep him going and keep him motivated because he wasn't sure if he wanted to keep going. He definitely felt like without this person in his life that he was lacking the motivation to really keep going after what it is that he wanted when it came to his music career and everything when it came to his life. So wow, that was his personal struggle. So early in his career. Currently, what is he focusing on? Interesting. Ladder, owl, wall, cauldron, crow. So staying away from dark stuff. Mushroom, book, skull, bone, wheel. So, focusing on family, friends, making new experiences, living life, enjoying, just business as usual, doing things the same way that he's always done it. I don't know if he's someone that's into the Bible, into God, going to church. Like, he's really trying to keep his reputation as good as possible. He doesn't want to do anything dark. He blocks all of that stuff out. He's really not into, partying, spending, being in the industry. He's not really into all of those things. Being in the spotlight with this crow, always having people watching him, looking at him. So he's just focusing on, continuing to be smart, making good decisions, enjoying life, making good music, and going about his life. Business as usual, like he's always been. So nothing new here. Just enjoying the fruits of his labor and being a humble, successful musician who, is not an industry plant and who's grateful for his blessings. Wow, amazing. We love that for him. So his current music struggles. Sorry, I had it this way. Lightning in reverse, wall in reverse, mule, leg in reverse, cup in reverse, key and ring coming out sideways. So again, his current music career struggles is that in order to be successful, after a certain point, they want you to indulge in certain dark things that he's not willing to do. So, that is definitely a struggle where it's like you can only open up so many new doors and get so many new opportunities without doing certain dark things. But that's okay because he's okay. He's not missing out on anything with the leg in reverse. He's not missing out on any new experiences. There's nothing that he feels is missing from his life. All right, he's comfortable with this mule. I'm not picking up just that he's stubborn, but just more that he's comfortable where he's at. He's comfortable with his life. He's okay with whatever walls are put up. It's not, he's comfortable with whatever blocking is. It's not a misunderstanding. He's not doing any dark things. This is also telling me that another career struggle that he is going through is not coming at you guys, like I said, about judging him and saying that he's an industry plant. Because we got Cup, that's all about the valid criticism. This is the misunderstanding, and this is the anger. He's like, I'm trying to keep cool and not, saying anything and be just this nice, humble guy. But just so you know, you guys are judging me incorrectly, and I'm not an industry plant, and nothing about me is fabricated or fake, and, so I saw a list where, because a lot of these people, I saw them on a list that said, top 50 industry plants, whatever, and he's basically saying, I'm not an industry plant at all, and I'm not willing to do no dark things. I don't have no partnership with no dark people. I'm not doing any of that. I invest time, energy, and money into this, and I am authentic, and that's that. So those are his main career struggles. It's not really has anything to do with his finances or anything. It's just with mainly how people view him and judge him and the dark things that he's not willing to do. Personal struggles. Scissor, fake people being around him, having to cut certain people off that he can't trust, with this cobweb in reverse that's only around him for what they could get from him. Because this says disappointment in some affair, and this says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So he definitely had some snakes in the grass that he had to get rid of from his personal life. He also had some, with this cobwebs, just, how it is with emotional baggage that you get from just being around certain people. Their negativity starts to rub off on you. So that's kind of what he's currently struggling with in his personal life, really trying to get, to a place of peace with this valley. He really just wants to be at peace and enjoy his success. He doesn't want all the extraness. He kind of wants to tone it down a little bit. We also have Tree coming out in reverse. So affairs with your family. I don't know if he's, still currently going through certain things when it comes to family, having to cut off certain family members because they want to use him, looking for him for finances, talking bad about him with this parrot coming out in reverse, possibly gossiping about him, telling his secrets, behaving real arrogantly and stupidly with this turkey coming out here. In reverse, we also have Mountain Road, so it says you are on the road to success. So he's just in a little bit of a challenging time right now. He's going to overcome his obstacles, but he's definitely got a lot of drama, with this firecracker and excitement and things that have been going on. Something could have happened in July, on 4th of July. Listen, 4th of July, you know how that is. You spend time with family, you reconnect with family. It could have got a little messy, could have got a little crazy. You have to cut certain people off and things like that. But either way, he's currently right now, I think, just moving to a place of just being at peace and chilling and trying to, cut out whatever's not serving him so that he can just, really move forward. Retrograde season. He's trying to move past all the miscommunication and all that stuff. So I think that's what he's got going on as far as his personal life. I asked about his inner personality, of course, like, the inner personality versus the true personality. And then I asked about, whether or not does he play a character? Is there something that, his label wants him to do? So let's start with that. We have engineer, hermit, avenger, Samaritan, and exorcist. So no. There, he has the free reign to do what he wants, to be who he wants to be when it comes to his music. He's not being held down with this exorcist. He doesn't have anybody controlling him. He doesn't have to wear any kind of mask or no false image. It says desires to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So he balances the scales by being someone authentic. It's a refreshing change that he's authentic. He's real. He gets to, create his own things. He gets the free creative reign and creative control with this engineer to make his own music. He gets to be who you want to be with this hermit. Like, he doesn't, it says serves personal creativity. So literally gets to do what he wants. And with the Samaritan, they just help him. They back him. They promote him in the way that they need to. But there's nothing, in terms of him having to wear an image or pretend or fake or be an industry plant. So that is really dope. All right, he's out here just being authentic, being himself, living in his truth, and having full creative control over his music. So let's see about his true inner personality. Rescuer, goddess. No, this is not his true inner personality. I asked about his public persona first. Sorry. Rescuer, goddess, teacher, rebel, dilettante, gambler, and martyr. So what this is telling me about his public persona is that, he's kind of give off the ladies' man persona, that, he loves women, he's all for the ladies, possibly has dealt with, heartbreak, because now I'm hearing heartbreak anniversary in my head, so he kind of gives off that lover boy vibe who's been taken advantage of, or, been through a lot, who's been used, abused by women in the past, who's tried to, like, rescue or save women, be their help, be their guide, be their teacher, things like that. We also have rebel, so obviously not a conventional person. He wears what he like, he behaves how he want. He's not, conforming to societal norms and behaviors. He's really just comfortable challenging, authority in that type of way. We also have dilettante, so he doesn't really care about necessarily being a professional. He's more so doing his, you can see that reflected in his public persona, that the music reflects what he wants to put out, and not really caring about, being a superstar, being in the spotlight, being a professional, being this artist. He doesn't care about the image or the persona. He's just putting out music that he enjoys. That's it. He's just putting out music that he likes. That's it. This is just him freeing himself from a lot of his burdens. He doesn't even really care if people like the music or not. He don't care if y'all support it. This is a way for him to speak his truth and talk about what he got going on. Also with the gambler, that further, emphasizes on the rebel with his personality, where it's like he'll take certain risks and things like that. And he's not afraid to go his own way. He's not afraid to trek his own unique path. It says willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. So yeah, he follows his own intuition and the beat of his own drum, and he don't need to listen to nobody else. That's his outward persona. His inner personality, pretty similar, because we got, child divine. So he stays true to his own nature, his own beliefs, what feels comfortable with him and his inner child, what makes him happy, what makes him feel good. We also have detectives. So yeah, he's all about seeking the truth, following your intuition. He might be someone with, certain psychic abilities, spiritual gifts, or he just likes to read, very knowledgeable, likes to read different books, learn about different, hidden knowledge, occult practices. Very financially responsible with this Midas miser, very entrepreneurial type of spirit, very creative spirit. He really could turn anything that he thinks into money, and he doesn't mind giving back and sharing with this visionary. He's okay with sharing with others, giving back to the community. I think he's also has that Aquarian mindset where he's just a little bit forward thinking, a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to the way that he thinks about things. He's very, he's just a visionary, He's ahead of his time, and people think about things years down the line, So he's creative, and he can come up with super dope ideas that people would not have even thought of until years down the line. We also have priests, so like I said, very connected with his spiritual commitments, has a very deep spiritual nature. Possibly, I don't know what type of practices he would indulge in, whether hoodoo, however, or if he's just someone who is a Christian and follows the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ, whatever. But he definitely is someone who's very motivated by his spiritual gifts and connected with his spiritual commitments and serving that part of his life. We also have thief. So it says sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So he got something on the inside that money cannot buy. And like I said, a lot of people have used him, have abused that nature of him, but he's always willing to be there for people. He's always willing to wear his heart on his sleeve. That's just how he is. He's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's going to help people. He's always going to be available for those in need. We also have student. Like I said, he loves to learn. He's devoted to knowledge. That's his thing. He also might be another one who could be like a 33 life path, or have certain ninth house emphasis on his birth chart, or Sagittarius placements. But he definitely or mutable, Virgo, Sagittarius, all that. He can have, Gemini, all that in his chart. But he definitely feels like somebody who loves to learn and is excited to get information and get knowledge, like I said. And then we also have child orphan. He's comfortable being alone, very independent. She's not he doesn't need a bunch of people to be around him in order to survive. He's totally comfortable just being by himself and being alone. That's his true inner personality. Wow, beautiful. So he's being authentically himself. I asked about some future predictions for him. We have September, Rose, and Dark Man coming out in reverse. Interesting. So he might not be open to it, but romance might be in the air for him in Virgo season in this month of September. With this Dark Man coming out in reverse, it makes me feel like he might not be open to it. He might not be interested, or there may be some sort of partnership that he's offered, or someone might ask him to do a feature on a song or work with him, and he's not interested. Like some sort of offer is going to be made to him that he's not gonna be interested in. So that's one future prediction that's coming up in this month, literally, because we have September coming out. We also have Hammock in reverse, Younger Woman, and Tent in reverse. So this says taking a vacation physically or mentally, and then this one says temporary situation coming out in reverse. So there's a young woman who possibly wants to date him, who wants to go on a vacation with him. It seems like he's just not interested in love at all right now. Wow. And there's an opportunity being presented for him to engage and go on his vacation, be at peace, spend this time with this woman, and he just feels like, nope, not interested. I'm good. I don't want to go. He's like, I'm not interested. I don't want that. I'm good. And then we also have Pig, Yoke, and Pin coming out in reverse. So yeah, I don't know. He feels like he don't want anyone coming around him for finances or trying to be greedy, trying to take his money, looking for him. He's like, listen, they need to go get a job. That's what I got, y'all. Whoever these people are that's coming around him, you feel like they're money motivated, they're looking for something from him, he don't want it. Whether it's a business opportunity or a romantic opportunity, he's not interested in. He do not want it because he don't trust it and he feel like he needs to stay away. So that's what I have as far as, Lil Tecca. Anything else for his future predictions? Music-wise? Saturn coming out in reverse with fire. So, this is making me think of the, Capricorn season. So that's when it's going to heat up. Probably not until Capricorn season. So, damn. Yeah, y'all. Not until Capricorn season is when we're gonna see something new coming to light. It's gonna be hot though with this fire. All right, it's gonna be bumping. It's gonna be real passionate. So look forward to some new. I feel like an album with this lighthouse. You know, coming out in at the earliest January of next year. Anything else about some more future predictions for him? Oh God, now it's getting dark. He may have some, you know, more darker imagery on the album. Maybe talking about some deeper topics. Yeah, some of those things, some of these offers that he's been made. It may not have a lot of features with this dub coming out in reverse. Yeah, iceberg in reverse. So yeah, he's got certain things that he's got to work through right now. I told y'all he's going through a period of certain obstacles. Once he gets through, you know, all of the certain things he got to handle when it comes to his personal life, he will be talking about all of this stuff in his music, and he's got some new stuff coming to us. But this is not going to be at least until January of next year that we could look forward to Lil Tecca giving us some new music. But I feel like he's still going through the woes of having to cut certain people off and deal with certain things. And that's really just kind of what he's struggling with. But look forward to him, you know, talking about that stuff in his music. Anything else for future predictions for his music? We got Flowers coming out in reverse. So yeah, he's not gonna be working on anything new anytime soon. All right, we just gotta wait it out a little bit. Yeah, he's gotta cut out these bad people, these toxic people. He's gotta cut out all that toxicity first before we see any new music and look forward to anything new coming from him. But I feel like, yeah, January of next year is when we're going to see him pop off. So that's exciting and that's fun. And I'm excited to listen. So, yeah, that's what I have for you guys for Lil Tecca and the Industry Plan series. Hope that you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one.